Hey, coaches, how's it going? This is Coach T. Got a great guest on today. It's Brad Van Horn. He is the offensive coordinator at Charlotte Independence. They like to sling the ball around a little bit. He's a big advocate of four verticals, like I know most of us are in our offenses, and everybody kind of has their own way to run it. There's a million ways to run it and tag it, but they do a really good job of it, and they're really efficient at it. So he's going to kind of explain to us how they run four verts at Charlotte Independence, and more specifically how they like to do it out of 3x1, because I know a lot of you coaches kind of asked me, Coach, how do you run four verts out of 3x1? I started thinking, I was like, we really don't do it that much, which we want to start doing a lot more of this year. So excited to have Brad on. One of the more brighter offensive minds that I've been around. We started way back in 2012 coaching JV together at Richlands High School, just slinging the rock around. So, Brad, we're excited to learn from you, and I'll let you take it from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate you having me on. Things have changed a little bit, but like Coach said, we go way back. I'm like a lot of you guys, huge Kenny Powers fan, and I think he has a quote in one of his shows, they're at the dealership and they're trying to burn one down the middle. And somebody said, no bunting. And my man was like, nobody's trying to bunt. Well, the reason I bring that up is because when we talk about our passing game, we don't like bunting. We like to be able to go deep. So that's just kind of our philosophy. We love to hit home runs. And you'll kind of see the way some teams play us on film, that they like to take that away and make us throw it short. Just talk briefly about trips, why trips versus anything else. If the defense is balanced, we tend to want to be unbalanced, whether, it's a 4-3, 3-4 straight down the middle, right? If they're balanced, if they're 50% on half and half, we want to be, unbalanced on offense. There's some unique reads that come with trips. Usually when you're in spread, the old school triple option, Georgia Southern under center 4 deep, where everybody hits the seam. Your outside guys outside release, and you read the one high safety. Well, out of trips, it changes a little bit. So without boring you guys and getting too much into the, the terms, because this thing could hit several different ways. When we started exploring four verts, we wanted to bring our triple option approach, which we don't run anymore, but we wanted to bring that approach to the passing game. We wanted to be able to call the same pass play 5 times in a row and hit 5 different receivers. If you ask any of our receivers, they're in pretty good shape because we run a whole lot of 6. So the first thing that we have to know, there's several things going down right here. This is actually and let me see if I can get to edit mode. This is a one high look, right? So anytime we get a one high look, our slots know that they are never sitting it down regardless. We want to put stress on this one high safety. Same thing as you read out a spread, old school, right? Look them one way, come the other. Now, one thing I would advise you guys to do is a lot of times in trips, the 2 comes open a lot, right? If you can ideally put it in any situation, you would want your quarterback to stare down that 2 so we can move that free safety off the hash, right? Because let's be honest, this is our 3, but in the air raid, this is probably your Y. This is your money man, right? This is the guy that you want to get the ball to. Now, Coach Townsend mentioned something about tags. One thing that we like to do, is we like to tag drag on the backside if we think we might be getting man. What this allows, how this changes the game is, and this is not anything new or not anything that I invented. We got this from Patrick Taylor, so I'd be remiss if I sat here and tried to take credit for it. He calls it engineering, he calls it the engineered air raid. And so, what we have to do is, as we come to the line, now you see 2 areas on the field that are vacated, the 3's hash or the Y's hash, and the outside of the numbers that the Z previously occupied. So what's going to happen is we're going to go under Sam, over Mike, right, trying to get to our hash. As we get here, our 3 is reading this corner. If the corner trails with the Z, we know it's man-to-man, and our 3 is going completely across the field. Now, at the same time, if our quarterback gets man or gets blitz or pressure from any reason, if he realizes it's man, if he diagnoses it's man, he knows he needs to go to the drag immediately. Unless, our 3 just wins, our stud wins. But it works out because we always read it inside out, right? We go 3, 2, 1. Well, what we're getting if it's man is, and as long as there's no blitz, we're getting natural clear outs, right? Because the Sam or the safety's going to run with the 2, corner's going to run with the X, the Sam's going to run with the 3, and then we're going to have the Z dragging across, being trailed by a shallow corner. So that's just kind of real basic general way we do it. If we wanted to, if it was a too high look, oh shoot, sorry, excuse me. If it was a too high look, what we would do is we would anticipate curling it, right? So now that it's too high, we know that we can't get over the top. And so our curl windows, we're looking to curl at between the next 2 backers inside. So for the 3, he's trying to get under Sam over Mike, right? And then his curl window is between these 2 backers. So depending on what that Mike does, he's going to sit it right there. Now the 2's curl window for us and our offense is between the next backers inside. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to push up, maybe over, and then he's got to curl between these 2 backers, right? Now, again, this is a static picture. Nothing's changing. In a real game, these guys are going to be flowing, which is going to make that window up, so he's not going to quite come in as much. This backer's probably going to expand because he's going to open up to the field, which is going to open this window up. It's going to be closer to over the ball. Only thing that can happen is if the backside wheel squeezes it off, now we got to go into this next window, right? Rule number 1, if you can't see the quarterback, he can't see you. So that's one of the things that we're trying to accomplish. And then always in too high, when we get to the line, the first thing our quarterback does, right, is he identifies the weak side safety. And what I mean by that is the safety to the single receiver, right? If this safety is cheated out over here, if they're trying to double team, if it's a cover 2, if it's wide, we might be thinking pipe shot. And so for us, all that is just get skinny down the middle and score. If the safety is cheated to the trips because we're burning them over here, or it's a 1 look, if we want to take our one-on-one shot versus the corner, all right? And we'll kind of talk about that going into the clips right now. So I apologize for some of the filming. This was the first game of the year, and our filmer was getting those HD highlights, so he was on the Zoom really hard. But right here we got a late jump. North Mac was playing kind of an unconventional defense, and I'm not going to talk to you too much about the defenses or bore you with that stuff. But again, when I said no bunting, I meant it. We have a quarterback that's got a cannon, a bazooka. He's coming back. Now, notice I didn't say a sniper, but I said a bazooka. And so when he lets that thing go, I mean, we're outrunning defenses. And I realize not everybody's got that, so I'm not trying to tell you to put a square peg into a round hole. But whatever benefits your kids, obviously try to play to their strengths. Because of that, we see a lot of defenses trying to keep everything in front. So let's see if we get – all right, so here we go. We got 4 deep. I can probably go ahead and tell you that it's Z drag because how tight choked down our receiver is. But we're looking at this guy right here, pre-snap, right? Pre-snap, he's got outside leverage. So it may be man, maybe not. But based on what we're seeing over here, it looks like it's zone. We're going to identify this safety right here. We don't have the outside fade. Like I just said, we got the drag. But if he's cheating, it's probably going to tell us that the 3 is going to get across his face. So here we go, typical open cross plant. Now I know the pocket breaks down right here. But there's our the 2 in trips running down the hash. Landmarks are very important. All right, if you check out my 3 right here, he realizes at this point in time he cannot beat that guy deep. The guy has a 15-yard head stop. Head start. I don't care if he runs a 4.4 Usain Bolt, 4.2, whatever. He's not going to get past him. So you can see right here, our 3 is looking to curl right now in this window. Again, he knows he can't drag across. Why? Because the corner sat, because it's zone. So the 3 sits. He's curled up in the window. He's wide open. We could have went to the 3. And then we give our X's and our Z's option routes on the outside. You see the X is working the comeback to the sideline. He can't get over the top either. There's probably cover 4. And then the safety gets out of place. Not reinventing the wheel. It's just all about knowing where to go with the football. It takes a lot of time, and the reason is because this is like a run and shoot, right? You have multiple things that can happen, and everybody's got to be on the same page. And here in a minute, I'll kind of tell you how we do that. Again, right here, we go 4 deep. Out of trips, old school 4 deep. Really, there's no safety in the field. We could have took our one-on-one shot here. This is a really unconventional defense. They've kind of running the defensive version of a sniffer. I don't know what this Mike Bagger's trying to do because there's no way he's going to be able to get 50 yards downfield. I mean, if you're going to get in an odd front, just line up in a nose guard. I mean, if you want to be in a 5-2, that's cool. But anyway, so you see up top, it's man. Because our 3 right here understands it's man, you see how his hips are turned? He's going to kind of push up to the outside. Why? To open up this area of the field he's trying to get to. And the ball land, he's right there on the hash. He's right where he's landmark, where he needs to be. Remember, we're going under Sam over Mike. There is no Sam because they're in some kind of 4-3 funkies thing. But he stays a little more vertical than a traditional route. But then once he breaks, it's on like Donkey Kong. And we could have went with our single side down here as well. You see up top running the curl, just reading it. But this is the first play of the game. You see it up there on the thing, play number 1. Huge. Same thing. All right, now we got X drag. He's dragging. We weren't very good at hitting the drags. That's one of the things that we need to work on this offseason or this season. Usually when you when you have a guy that can throw 60-yard bombs, the drag might be a little lower on his repertoire. So that's one of the things that we're working on and trying to build up that flexibility. And just being able to identify going back and forth between man and zone. This kind of looks like, this is definitely a zone because you can see he's looking at the quarterback. What I would say about this cover 2 look, when we're getting cover 2, and I'm assuming that's what this is, we're probably going to hit the 2. Who's got the most cushion? He's going to push up like he's going deep. He's going to get to about 14, and then he's going to curl it, right? Because he's naturally got cushion. The outside backer's on number 3, corner's on the Z. And we'll talk about some things that we can do to cover 2 here in a minute as well. And again, we're simplifying these reads for the quarterback. His reads are 1, 2, 3. He's reading one side of the field. We're not full field reading unless he gets pre-snap zone man. But look, right here, and this is what I was talking about. The drag comes open all the time. But again, if we got the opportunity, we'd rather not bunt. We'd rather throw tutties. And so this was the game. I think our quarterback became the 20th quarterback in Mecklenburg County history to throw 6 touchdowns in a game. And my man right here became the 20th receiver for the best single game performance in Mecklenburg County history against Hopewell in that game right there. That's definitely labeled wrong. I apologize. All right, so we got Z drag right here. We're just pre-snapping. We're kind of looking at what we got. Another thing that you can do for cover 2 that we'll start doing, and we just started doing it recently. This film's from about 2 years ago. But if you're getting 2, read 2, any of that good stuff, tag your number 2 on a 5-yard out, speed cut, whatever you want. All right, what's going to happen is this corner is going to jump it, and then you just got to be able to drill this in the fade ball window, right? The only thing that can happen is you can get a switch. This obviously isn't true cover 2. This is kind of like a 3 safety look because they knew we were liking to throw the ball. But if this guy's not here, say he's a backer down here, then at that point, all you would have to do is read your safety. Because if he comes flying out to cover this cover 2 shot, the 3 is going to be wide open down the pipe, right? If he stays on the hash, then the cover 2 hole is going to be open in the window. So there's always an answer for something that you can do. And again, it's really easy. Get the ball to your money guy. Right here, what we have is what's called a pipe shot. You see how wide these safeties are? You could drive a Mack truck down this alley. So because of that, we know that this middle linebacker can't sit here and guard us vertically, right? So we know once we clear that window, he's in trouble. And, when you have a 6'4" quarterback, it makes things a little bit easier. But again, he threw for 6 touchdowns this game, and that receiver caught 4 of them. who's now playing at Elizabeth City. Okay. Sorry. Our huddle automatic starts a little off. But here we go. All right, we got 4 deep. Again, when we come to the line, we're telling our quarterback, identify the weak side safety, right? That's the whole goal, is we want to identify the weak side safety. And so the weak side safety's down here. We probably could take our one-on-one shot, but he's a little bit off, so it doesn't look like a true cover 2. Could be cover 2, could be cover 4, could be read 2. We don't know. The 3, when he comes to line, is identifying the space between. He realizes the pipe shot's probably off the table, so he's going to probably curl right in between these 2 backers, right? If the 2 ends up curling, he's going to curl in between this backer and that backer. So you see initially here, we got a curl there, and this guy's working to curl on the outside. Again, got to coach up our guys better, got to throw the drag, got to be able to throw the drag, but, no bunting, right? So that was just scramble drill, and that happened a lot. I'm not going to sit here and try to say like I'm this great coach, because I'm not. Just get the ball to your athletes and let them make plays. This right here is at a spread. I know we're talking mainly out of trips, but out of spread right here, we know that we've got a 1 high look. They loved their game plan. They were going to blitz away from our backer every time. And so this was one of those where, this is Garinger. They're going to keep everything in front. So right here at this point, our slots know that they're not sitting down. Why? Because it's 1 high. So we're going to make him choose. So both slots are going deep. The outside guys are probably curling. And so we just hit the comeback and then, get the ball to your playmakers. Here's trips right here. 4 deep. Again, we come to the line. You see how far out this safety's cheated? I mean, here's the ball. He's way outside. He's almost on the number. So we know we're not going the solo shot, the one-on-one. Pipe shot may be open depending on what this guy does. But again, it's probably going to be the 2. And so pre-snap right here, we're reading to sit. But if this guy ends up weaving to the middle of the field, we're going to treat it like 1 high. And so, okay. We also have a tag right here. We have XZ swap. And so what that means is all it is our X and 2 are switching responsibilities. Our X is going to push up. I'd like for him to be a little bit wider, but his rules alignment are he's splitting the hash and the numbers when the ball's on the opposite side of the field. But what's going to happen is he's going to push up to 10. He's going to hit the flat or the post. It's going to be super skinny. And because we're running shooting this, right, he has the option to set it down once he runs it. All right, the 2's going to run the wheel and replace and take the X's responsibility. And so let's kind of see what happens. 3's the same. We throw to the X. Underthrown. I mean, if my man with the bazooka would have launched it over here, it would have definitely been a touchdown. But we have to settle for the completion. So again, that's just a sample of how easy the tag is. One touch, or on the baseball system, I have a part of my body that represents everybody on the offensive field, with the exception of the lineman. And so I can touch one body part, give one signal, and we're good. We're in a completely different look. I watch, if you watch Coach Townsend's video yesterday with Coach Silas, he talked about being multiple and everything you do as far as formations and things like that. This is the exact same thing. We're running one play, but to the defense, it looks like thousands of plays, right? With just the touch of a hand. So again, right here, we could probably take our one-on-one shot. Why? Because look at this safety. You see how far he's cheating, right? We could definitely take this one-on-one. Now, again, to be able to win the one-on-one, you got to have some dudes, right? Our guys got to be better than their guys. So it's not always foolproof, but on paper, it looks pretty good. Now, blitzes, right? My quarterback messes up right here. This is cover 4. Hickory Ridge is a 3-4. They're bringing the dog off the edge. All right, we always want to throw into the blitz. Right now, because we're reading 3, 2, 1, if we don't take the solo side pre-snap, which we could have, if we're going here, it's a pre-snap look. But because the guy blitzes off the edge, we need, and we talk about this with our quarterback's footwork, he can cross over. We teach rocker steps, which is what you see with that left foot moving. You see a lot of quarterbacks that'll have staggered stances, and I'm all about staggered stances. I love it. The problem for us with the staggered stance is if his feet are staggered, we can't get him to step down into the run game for our zone read. So we allow them to cheat. Kind of got that from Anthony Boone. Used to play at Duke. They take that rocker step and they open cross plant. Now, anytime we want to convert to a one step, we'll do is what we call a gather step, and he won't cross over, and then this foot will come back. So it's like a shuffle. But we have to throw the ball right here, right now. For the most part, teams don't blitz us a lot. Because of that simple fact, you look at Brady, you look at Manning, you got to replace the blitz with a throw. Have to, and we don't do a good job of that here. Does it work out? Yes, but we got to be able to throw right there in that cover 2 window. Here we go. I really like this clip. This is cover 0. This is Porter Ridge. This was a big win for us last year. Definitely an upset. But you see cover 0 across the board. Everybody's down, pressed up. We had our dude one-on-one. And here's where our quarterback, he takes a rocker step, but he realizes 0. So you'll see he gets a quick 3. It's not his typical 3-step drop. He gets a quick 3, and boom, gets the ball out. And it's a touchdown. Now, if it's one high, anything like that, it's not right here, but quarterback's really got to move that one high safety with his eyes because he knows where he wants to go. Defense doesn't know where we're going with the ball. We do. So, cover 0, cover 4, cover 2, cover 1. It doesn't matter what they're in. We've got a plan for it. Right here, you go cover 0. They're going to be bringing some heat. Yep, cover 0. And then we just busted and got out. Cover 2, right? Who's got the natural cushion? It's probably going to be the 2 right here. Now, if this guy flies out, he might have to slide into that window. Again, if you can't see the quarterback, he can't see you. And we got swapped out here again. So what you'll see is inside release, get to our post, and then our 2's running a wheel. 3 responsibilities stay the same. Now, the one thing I don't like about this, and I'm showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly, is our receiver right here does not get outside of the corner. Because of that, the corner is allowed to play zone and look at the quarterback at the same time, which is not a good look for us. Luckily, I think we trapped it. They gave us the credit for completion. Now, one thing we haven't talked about, one thing that can give you problems against this offense is this cat right here. If this guy, whoever's on number 2, can match him vertically with his speed, you're going to have some problems. All right? So if it's man, just like anything else, and I'll try to give you an example right here. If it's man, we want to run from it. So if he goes to curl because it's too high, he's obviously not right here. But if he went to curl and this guy's on him, he's going to turn this into a dig, right? And hopefully we hit him in the window. But we never want to set. But year 1, that gave us a lot of problems as we had guys that could match us vertically. We had outside backers that were faster than our slots, and that's obviously not a good look. But real quick, we're going 3, 2, 1, inside out right, and we catch him one-on-one. So right here, the backers matched vertically, and we're good. Quarterback drops it in. And they gave us the touchdown. Same thing. We're coming up 4 deep. It's trips. We're identifying the safety opposite. He's kind of out. Look at that pipe, baby. Look at that pipe. We should be going right down the middle. Let's see what happens post-snap. Does pipe stay wide? Absolutely. And so, that's the thing. Here's the Sam. Rules are always under Sam. I don't know if he gets under Sam. He might go over him. He went under Sam. Here's the Mike. He's trying to get over Mike. We know Mike can't hang with us vertically. And then that ball drops in beautifully. And it's just like poetry in motion. Little scramble drill. We're not here to see the scrambles. Here we go. We got Z drag. He's coming flat, which tells this guy he's got the hole from this hash to the sideline to work with. We just expanded his zone, right? It's all about zones. We're trying to stay in zones. Oh, we got to the drag. Amazing. Let's go. So we throw the drag. Everybody carries over here. You see his match. You see how there's nobody in the flats. Easy throw. Not an easy completion because we're playing patty cake, but we'll take it. Short dink and dunk, right? Being able to get down the field. This can't be right. Oh no, sorry, RPO. I knew that was labeled wrong. Okay, here we go. 4 deep. This guy's almost in the. We got a lot of room over here. If we can hold that safety, I like our one-on-one odds over here. And really, I don't really like this. Really, he should be aiming to get more vertical, but it looks like it's a cover 1 or cover 12 type look, and he realizes he's got the backer matched up on him, and it becomes – all this is doing is it's turned into scramble drill, quarterback creating with the Brett Favre backwards pitch, and it's pretty basic. Again, not trying to bore you guys, but look, we got one high. As soon as we come to the line, our slots know they are not setting it down no matter what. This is kind of tricky, though, because this safety, you see how far cheated back he is? That might present some problems for this guy right here. Let's kind of see how it plays out. And then that's what we were talking about. This is exactly what we were talking about. Remember we were talking about if they're in man, right? There's some pretty athletic cats in Charlotte. And this slot right here is playing football at Wingate right now. He's at Elizabeth City. But you see, he's fighting to carry him. Safety's over the top. Now, ideally, if this dude was faster, we would want to burn that guy deep and take the points. But it's man, right? He goes to sit it down in his window. He knows his window is between this linebacker and this linebacker. But as he sits it down, he's on his hip. So he just basically turns it into a dig to get to his window. And again, this is 4 deep. This is not like dig by number 2. This is 4 deep. So it looks like a completely different play. Get a great clear out. You see our receiver up top was trying to break it down for the curl. He realizes at this point he can't get over the top, so he's looking to sit it down. If the guy's got inside leverage, he's going to work back to the sideline. If he's got outside leverage, he's going to work back down the stem to the inside. And that's always a good look. Now here's our tight end look. We're in trips tight, so we got trips right. We're going to be running wide drag here. The tight end's going to be dragging. I'm sure he's going to be wide open, like always. But, again, the same look against East Mac. We're going to catch this guy rolling down, and we're going to be able to expose the hash right behind him. But I can't tell you guys how important spacing is. If there's one thing we do a really good job of, it's spacing. And the thing that's wild about this is he even stems inside of number 9. Like, number 9's eyes can see him the whole way because he's trying to outside release, but he can't, so he just folds underneath and gets right back on his hash, kind of like a cover 2 corner, and then we just drop it in the window. Again, we love some 4 deep. Love it, love it, love it, love it out of trips. Again, here we go again. This is the exact same thing by number 2. We're pre-snapping. He's outside. He's cheated, right? So it looks like maybe cover 12. These guys are definitely spying our number 3 because he's our primary look. But let's look what happens. Looks like a cover 4. Same exact thing. This is the curl window, but see how this is like a Tampa 2 Mike. You see how deep this Mike backer is, getting out at 10 yards deep. So he kind of rolls it into a dig because nobody's on his line when he turns. Actually, no, he stays it. He bangs at the curl. He rounds it. But, obviously this guy's inside, so he hits the outside hole. If this guy would have flew out quicker, Trevor would have moved inside, and he would have potentially set it right there behind him. And again, it's the same play over and over again. And we just, we make sure that we get reps with it. Again, the 2's wide open right here. 1 high safety, 3 knows he's not setting it down. But again, this guy's like a second high safety. So that's why our 2 keeps curling it. It's because he can't beat him over the top. He's not fast enough. He's not athletic enough. So he just keeps setting it down underneath. Our 3 does a great job here because he releases under Sam, he's going to try to get his hands on him, which is going to open up the window for the 2. And then boom, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, processing, bang, bang, bang. 4 deep. Again, we're identifying this guy. The ball's on the hash. Safety's inside the hash, if you can see that. They're dropping 8 against us because we throw the ball. I mean, look at these backers right here. This is what teams do. This is Audrey Kell. They are not letting anybody get behind them, right? This is like the picket fence defense, and they got somebody robbing right there. So what our 3 does is he realizes he can't get into this zone, so he just kind of breaks it flat. Find space. We're playing basketball on grass. Don't overcomplicate it. We used to be like, you got to get to, if your depth's 15, you got to get to 15. If your depth's 13, you got to get to 13. And a lot of that's true as far as depth goes, but with this, we're just like, get open. Ask yourself as a receiver, when are you open? And as soon as you're open, turn and face the quarterback, right? Get open now. When am I open? When am I open? And we'll talk about the tennis ball drill here in a minute and kind of how we teach this. Again, Olympic, another example. I ended up having to actually, we were struggling so much in this game, I ended up having to start calling all curls. Instead of 4 verts, instead of calling 6, I was calling all curls because these cats right here, our quarterback used to play for Olympic. So they all knew him, and they knew that they were not letting him beat them deep. So as you see right here, everybody is looking to wall off. Look at this backer right here. Right here, his eyes are completely on number 3. He is looking to wall him off. He's not trying to let him get to this hash. But again, because they're trying to keep everything in front, look at how they vacate the curl window up top. And then our quarterback just does a great job making plays. Eagle 4 deep, nothing changes. The only thing that's wrong with this is we got trips in the boundary. My running back's way too wide. He needs to be about right here. So the only thing that's going down is the running back's the 5th man in the route, or our 4, and he's going to end up running the drag. Everybody else has their responsibilities. So when we come to the line as a quarterback, we're still looking at this guy. If he's cheating wide, then we're thinking pipe shot. If he's squeezing off the pipe, we're thinking one-on-one. If it's a cover 0 or cover 12 situation, then we're thinking running back on the drag. And right here, our quarterback gets to it. Open cross plant. And really, you see the 2's open right here, but there's a little garbage in his window because the drag's coming across his face. But again, get the ball to your players and let them be athletes. Again, it's not too complicated. Here we go again. We're an eagle. Now we've got the alignment right. We like to put our 4 on the line if he's dragging. Kind of the same principles as mesh. And then, we're good to go. Really, right here, I really like, because he's as wide as the 4, I really like the pipe shot, but it depends on what this guy here does and whether this guy can carry number 2 vertical. So let's see what happens. A little breakdown. And again, quarterback just creating, getting the ball out to our running back. It just turns into old school sweep, right? Nothing crazy. Get the ball to your running back in the flats. We just pitched it forward and got some passing yards for it instead of some rushing yards. So nothing major, nothing groundbreaking, nothing revolutionary. Let's see right here. We got trips. Really, we could probably take the one-on-one right here because look at this safety. He's in the box, or not in the box, but he's as wide as the tackle. The problem is this corner is kind of cheated deep. So if this happens and he's deep, then they're going to be on the same page and they're going to think curl, right? He's going to read single side curl. So if we ever go the one-man surface, the one-man side, it's pre-snap. Everything else, we're going 3, 2, 1 to the trips. 3, 2, 1. All right, breakdown. And then our 3 kept working. And really, but you see the single side curl over here, which is where he should have went. At this point, we weren't running shooting it like we are now. But you see how he's got inside leverage. So my guy knows he's breaking it on a comeback. Boom, right there. Look at this. Look at how much separation. That's a pretty good route. My guy's still sinking his hips right there. If the ball comes out on time, that's just a better decision. But again, we weren't read routing it at this time. We just really transferred to this about 2 years ago, and this is from 3. Same play. Sorry. Here we go. We got Trey. Hopefully my outside receiver gets this fixed. Dang, he does not. We should be fired. Oh, okay. Sorry. Timeout. Is there no play? We had some kind of breakup. I'm sorry, guys. Just trying to get you looks at different formations. Trips. Here we go again. Again, this is one of the earlier games. You're going to see it. Again, we got quick because of that cheetah speed, right? We like to go cheetahs so fast. But right here, you got the 3 trying to curl in between the windows of his 2 backers. I mean, this backer's just facing our guy. You got one-on-one out there, and then we got the comeback route right here. But what you're going to see is this guy right here. And again, we've been a pro at working scramble drill. Dang, that wasn't it. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. That was the first play we saw. 4 deep right here. Again, identifying the safety. Can we take our one-on-one look? That's not our best receiver, so, we don't like this matchup. We're definitely not going one-on-one here. But we're going 3, 2. Everybody realizes they can't get over the top, so they set it down. One thing I don't like is my X down here backpedaling. And then, we just create. But I will say that a lot of teams don't blitz us. If you get really good at replacing the blitz with the throw, teams aren't going to blitz you. We got X drag down here. My man's dragging. Boom. And then which tells our 3 he can go all the way across if he wants it. Obviously, as you can tell from these films, our pass pro needs some work. I'll make sure that I pass that along to our O-line coach. But we'll kind of take a look at 1 or 2 more, and then we'll be good. So we ended up hitting it to the single side curl back here. Don't let my quarterback tell you any different. He was definitely trying to throw the 3 coming across right here, and the ball definitely sailed on him and just perfectly landed in the X's arms. That was not intended, I promise. And then this one was so good. This is the one that we hit to win the game against Olympic. What happened was the play before this, we had just ran fade left, and we dropped it, and there was like 20 seconds left to go in the game. You can see everybody's kind of scattered. This play, I went fade left again, and my head coach said, Coach, he checked it. This was our first year or second year. This is when he was still signaling, and he checked it. And we checked 4 deep. And the reason being is because we wanted to keep stress on this guy right here. We knew we could throw the fade, but if we just called fade, it was going to allow the safety and the corner to double team over the top. With us calling 4 deep right here, right, this guy right here had to be responsible for the 3 coming across. And let me show you one last clip, Coach. Before I kind of jump into the tennis ball thing, and I just want to show it to kind of give you a true, look at what it looks like. I'm going to go to our JV film from 2017, 2018. Oh, sorry. 2018. Is this it? No, this is not it. Let's see. I think I got the years. This is how well organized we are at Independence. I think I got the years backwards. I think I posted them on the wrong year, my first year. Oh, here we go. Yep, because we play on our bye week. This is our last look, but I just kind of want to give you kind of a glimpse of the beauty of this verse cover 2. We had a game. God, we had a game against these cats. But so what this is, let me explain to you the situation. All right. This is 1 untimed down at the end of the game to prevent us from going to overtime, right? It's a tie ball game right now. There's no time on the clock. And so, we got 1 play to make a play. We've got a 6'5" kid down here that we just put in. They're running their cover 2. Look, they definitely know we're trying to go away from, they think the jump ball's coming. This kid hadn't been playing a lot. And so we're in trips right. And our running back was out this game, so we put an H in just to fill in our pass pro. So this is what I call empty funny. but we're in trip strike with the H to the left. But the key I want you to look at right here is the pipe, all right? They've been running cover 2 the whole game. They're still in it up top. I can't see the guy down here. But coming out of the timeout, we made this substitution. We noticed the safety kept creeping. And so all we have is 4 deep, and we went with the straight pipe shot to win the game, obviously. But I just want you guys to see, and you see right here, this guy right here is starting to backpedal. He's starting to get some movement. But our quarterback does a really good job right here. Look, his eyes, he's staring down the single high wide receiver, because what it forces that safety to do is safety comes off the hash. And it's just money sauce. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So jumping off of that, I'm going to kind of jump into our tennis ball drill real quick that I got from Patrick Taylor. I'm sorry, from East Surrey, or North Surrey, and then we will kind of go from there. All right. Are we good? Is the YouTube video showing? Yes, no?
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. All right, so what we got going on here, guys, is we're in the gym, and I probably should have diagrammed this out for you, and you can tell I'm filming it vertically off my phone, but we have a tennis ball in the quarterback's hands right here, his left hand, and then everybody else, we got the defense out there. And this is an old school 4-3. This was our base defense. So it's a 4-3. You can do it with trash cans. Really, the hardest thing as a coach is getting defender buy-in and getting defenders to, not joke around during this time period, because what it is mainly the only person that's getting reps right here is your quarterback. And I got this again from Patrick Taylor. He made a great point. We can sit here and do, board work and all these things like that. And I guess I should preface this with he got this from Hal Mummy, right? The tennis ball drill from Hal Mummy. But, we can teach quarterbacks on a whiteboard all day, but that's not how they process it, right? You process it through seeing the holes, seeing people flash in and out of windows. The issue is, if we teach them in Spanish and then we expect them to play in English, it's not going to be a good result, right? So we want them to see how they play. And so what we're doing is we're working on our fast process. So our slow process is anything that happens before the snap. That is, is the corner down? Are they in cover 2? Are they in cover 1? Are they in cover 3? Is it 1 high? Is it 2 high? Are the corners pressed? That's all slow process, right? Once the ball is snapped, it turns into fast process. 95% of the time, when things go wrong in the fast process, when something bad happens post-snap, it's because we missed something pre-snap. Something went bad in the slow process, or something went that we didn't see, or there was a guy that we didn't notice, or something happened that we did not account for, or something happened that we didn't think was going to happen. So we missed something. So this is training the fast process. So all we're doing as we're running 4 deep, obviously you can see right here, this is our ox gym, so it's really confined. All we're doing is we're teaching the receivers when to sit space, and we're telling the quarterback when to throw. He's not even really open cross plan. He's just taking this tennis ball, and when he sees somebody open, he's throwing it. This has nothing to do with throwing ability. This has nothing to do with mechanics. All this is cognitive recognition and reading the defense and reading the zones. So we'll sit here and we'll jump them in and out of defenses. We'll rock and roll. We'll go man. We'll tag our drags. And this is just something that we can do about the defense is at 25%, but this is something that we can do in the gym, right? This is something that, I don't know what your PE standards are, but I'm pretty sure there's a tennis ball somewhere in your PE standards that you may or may not be able to do during class. I'm not sure. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but, we're talking about stealing reps. And so I think this is a great way to do it. So what you just had right there is we're in spread. You just heard the Mike backer call motion. We push motion the running back out to put strain on this outside backer right here, and then we threw the curl window right behind. Why? Because the safety stayed deep. I'm going to tell you, in the gym, you're going to be throwing a lot of curl routes. You're not going to be bombing it, right? But it's good for the receivers to be able to see the windows. It's good for the quarterback to be able to see the windows. Exact same thing, right? We call it 3 shoot. And then we ran our 4 deep on the outside. Again, we're just trying to read and diagnose. Again, right? We're simulating the snap. Now we've got a center involved, right? And as you can see, the outside, the safety rolls down. Safety rolls down. We want to throw it deep. So we missed right there. And now at this point, again, this video is super old. But at this point now, we're going to incorporate a football. Oh, maybe not. One more play. So, okay, you see right there, we got to the drag. I think he could have thrown right here to this guy. But anytime you got the drag coming with 4 deep, whoever's carrying number 2 is going to be put in conflict. Is he going to continue to carry number 2, or is he going to sit here and is he going to redirect and come down and carry the drag? And again, I know I'm the world's worst. I'm sitting here filming feet and I'm cutting off the top of my receivers' heads, but I really just wanted to get the quarterback, going through his visual process. And there you go right there. That's the one we missed, right? The backer blitz is heavy. We throw into the blitz. Catch and throw. Bang.
Good.
We're working our motions.
Look off.
And again, so what he was doing was he was trying to move that safety on this side to be able to be able to take that one-on-one.
Inside out. Brian, nope.
And so as you can see, all it is we're getting reps. We're getting reps as far as that goes, and teaching them cognitively, what to be looking for in the mind, as far as, what it looks like and when we need to deliver the ball and how we need to deliver it on time. So, Coach, that's all I got. Is there any questions? I mean, I know there's the like open forum, but is there anything I missed or thought that I didn't clarify that maybe I could clarify?
No, Coach, that was awesome. Like I told you guys before when I brought him on, I don't think there's anybody that brings the energy like Coach Van Horn does. So I took my kids 1 year up to work with them in the summer, all the way from Swansboro to, I think it was Statesville. And it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and my kids are just waking up. We get out to the field, and Coach Van Horn just chugs a Red Bull and smashes it on his head just to get the guys pumped up because it was so early. And those guys have all graduated college now, and they still talk about that every time I see them. It's just awesome. So just a coaching point or two, guys, bring the energy. Your kids feed off of it, and I think you do the best job of anybody I've ever been around. So just real quick, Coach, just give these guys like maybe your contact information or anything if they want to shoot you an email or anything like that to ask any questions. Just go ahead and share that with them.
Absolutely. So my email is BSV, B as in Brad, S as in Scott, V as in Victor, 0427@gmail.com. Really simple. You can find me on Twitter at Coach_Van Horn, VANHORN. And then other than that, off those two, you can find me on my Weebly or things like that. But I'm always down to talk ball. I'm always down to get better. Again, I didn't come up with any of this stuff. I have people showing me, I've got to work with great people like Coach Townsend along the way. And, this is a business that you're constantly learning, right? Whether you're learning from Coach Riley or, Coach Atoli or whoever it is, there's tons of good people in this business. And if you're willing to learn, there's a lot of people that'll help you. So I don't want anybody to think that I've got all the answers because I certainly don't. And if you've got anything that you think could help me, definitely let me know. I know yesterday, Coach, when we went out to practice, Coach Atoli was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, hold on, I got this idea." And, we got the pop-ups. So I was like, okay, we're going to put the pop-ups out for mesh. And I was like, man, this field's wet. These pop-ups are like 50 pounds. We don't have any GAs, and we don't want to drive the gator on the field. So we just put the defense out there and just had the players stay in stationary, but did the exact same thing and went through our mesh drill, in our cover 2 beater. So I don't have it all figured out. I'm constantly learning. Coach sent me his video yesterday. I checked it out, and then there we are less than 24 hours later, repping it in practice. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all that you do. Appreciate you making me a better coach. I appreciate you having me on the channel. And if there's anything I can do, guys, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll do whatever I can.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks for coming on. Like I said before, any of you guys out there that, I mean, we all run cover, or we all run 4 verts, we all run 6, and everybody kind of has their own way to do it. But I don't think anybody does it out of trips like you guys do. So, I mean, I learned a ton from that and stuff we'll absolutely put right in. So, Coach, I appreciate it. You guys contact me if you want to have any questions. Just comment below or things like that, and we're always here for you to help and here to learn as well. So, appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you, Coach. Best luck this season.
You too.